Welcome to your weekly global economic update for the week of June 30th through July 6th, 2025. U.S. tariff pressure escalates. Are we looking at Trade War 2.0? Former President Donald Trump has signed and finalized tariff letters for 12 countries, which are set to go out on Monday, July 7th, just ahead of the July 9th tariff deadline. This move signals a pretty hardline stance, with proposed tariff hikes ranging anywhere from 10% to 70%. While the European Union is still attempting some last-minute negotiations, insiders are saying that a deal is pretty unlikely. Global markets are reacting to all this uncertainty. Markets initially showed some signs of volatility, but quickly stabilized. The US dollar weakened just a bit, mostly due to political and economic concerns. Meanwhile, the Australian dollar actually hit an 8-month high as traders started pricing in US instability. And gold prices surged, reflecting investor anxiety. They're up nearly 26% year-to-date. Economic indicators are, pointing to a pretty slow global recovery. According to the most recent estimates, the International Monetary Fund is forecasting global growth to hold steady at about 3.2% for 2025. Emerging markets are expected to grow at around 4.2%, while developed economies are likely to stay close to 1.8%. Meanwhile, the World Trade Organization predicts that global trade could swing from negative 0.2% to as high as positive 2.7%, depending on how tariffs are enforced. And the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development warns that global growth might even drop to 2.9% in 2026, especially if protectionist policies keep rising. Geopolitical risks are really shaking up the energy markets right now. Iranian parliamentarians have proposed blocking the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key route for global oil shipments. And honestly, that's raising some serious alarm bells across energy markets worldwide. If this happens, we could see increased oil prices, higher insurance and shipping costs, and of course, major disruptions in global fuel supply chains. So, what should we all be watching for next week from July 7th to 13th? Well, the main date to keep in mind is July 9th, when Trump's tariff deadline hits. If there's no compromise reached by then, we could see massive disruptions across supply chains and trade routes. Negotiations with China, Japan, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and the European Union are still ongoing, but honestly, things are pretty tense. Canada, meanwhile, is reviewing its protection measures for the steel and aluminum industry. And central banks in Australia, South Korea, Malaysia, and New Zealand are all considering cutting interest rates to help ease some of the economic pressure. This week's developments really do mark a decisive shift in the global economic landscape. Protectionist measures, volatile markets, and geopolitical tensions are all converging into a pretty critical point right now. All eyes are now on July 9th. It could be a real turning point in the global trade order.